It recognizes our belief in God, our country, not just individuals, our country, our founding fathers codified this in the documents that founded this country. Our reliance, our belief in God, and our reliance upon God. Of that, there's just no debate on that. You may like it, may not like it. Declaration of Independence, we find these truths to be self-evident, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, of which are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. It goes on in the Constitution to say we are putting together this Constitution in a preamble to secure the blessings, not only for ourselves, for posterity. And that Constitution followed with a Bill of Rights that enumerated those godly rights given to man, including the very first one, which was a right to believe in God and to express that belief anytime, anywhere, including the public square.
33 million. It's proven to the money investors that people want something to feed their souls, not just their worst desires.
Absolutely.
And
yes, indeed.
This kind of sums up my entire dialogue career on the heat of the night. You ready for this? Okay, this is it. My 7 years on the heat of the night. My dialogue all summarized in this. Get right on it, Chief.
Skinner, but Bubba's my name. I like my iced tea sweet and my women the same. I'm your brown-haired badge here in little old Sparta, but nobody's bigger or tougher or smarter. If you're looking to fight, best not be with me. Wanna be held tight? Well, now we'll just see. You never know in the heat of the night on TNT. Heat of the night on TNT. Now I don't put on any airs, but then I ain't no slob. Just a redneck boy with a blue-collar job. The ladies I date, they gonna have 'em some fun, 'cause I'm a big hunk of crime fighting son of a gun. So if you're looking to fight, come on up in the ring. You wanna be held tight, just about anything can happen in the heat of the night on TNT. Hubba, 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 heat of the night on TNT. Yeah.
And welcome to Alan Autry No Retreat. I'm Alan Autry. Honored and humbled to have you with us today, because I have to... I don't have to. I have the blessing to have Sir Lawrence of Powell with us on Big Wednesday. Hey, welcome, Larry.
Always good to be here, Alan.
And Triple G, Guillermo Marino. Welcome, my brother. Great to have you. Radio folks, you can't see this. He's doing boxing robots stuff there, ready to rumble, man. Ready to rumble here on Big Wednesday, Wonderful Wednesday, Hump Day, whatever you want to call it. I call it a blessing. At our age, Larry,
every day is a blessing.
Every day
hour
is a blessing, man. Our eyes open this morning. Hallelujah! Yay! Let's get down to the studio with the young bucks.
Yeah, that's right.
I tell you, this whole thing about getting older, don't be fearful. Just be frightened to death of it. Okay, it ain't what it's cracked up to be. No, I tell you, there's things that. If I tell you, Guillermo, if I had to go back to your age, I was asked this, Alan, would you go do it again if you could become? I said, if I had to go back to the same brain, absolutely a big FR, flat refusal.
That's a good point.
I look at the stupid, I make some dumb decisions now, but comparatively, Larry, you've seen my dumb decisions. You were with me my 8 years as mayor. You've seen my dumb decision.
I'm for the zoo measure.
The zoo measure. Oh, you and those things. Look at this. Look what I got.
I don't know if that zoo thing ended up working out for you.
Save the turtles. Now this is backwards on there.
I love it.
I saved it. I saw this at the dollar store.
That was a hard choice, wasn't it? What was the other choice?
If you can't save a turtle, you don't have a heart.
Hey, but on the other side of that,
those turtles, aren't they lovable?
It says save the turtle for soup.
Oh, that's horrible.
They have turtle soup?
These
they do.
Where are the Frenchies?
These friends of mine, folks, there's a history behind this nonsense you listen to now. These two guys voted for our zoo, which passed millions and millions of dollars are going to. And how much improvement can you improve a zoo?
I regret my vote. I regret my.
Do you? Honestly, are you just saying that?
Like the Democrats right now that voted for Joe Biden. That's how much I regret my zoo vote.
You're having to buyer's remorse on that. I mean, what are you going to serve those monkeys? Gold-plated, troughs for their bananas? I mean, you can't expand over there. There's no room for expansion.
There's not. Take over more eroding.
It's just, I'll tell you, that's where we want to work, the zoo.
Yeah.
They're going to have a retirement plan there for not only the people, but all the animals. You go in there and see the giraffes in a rocking chair with a clicker watching Netflix. Hey, we love you, Fresno.
All the orangutans are making hair appointments.
Yeah. All right. We got a lot of difficult stuff to talk about, but we can't go forward without acknowledging one of the greatest feats. I don't know if you call it athletic achievement. I guess you would, but Joey Chestnut.
You don't call it athletic achievement. No.
All you have to say is the name, and everybody just chuckles. Joey Chestnut just won, his 20th straight?
15th? Is it 15th? Or 20th?
20, I think.
Oh, is it 20?
I think it was 20.
Wow.
Yes, 20th. Hot dogs put on by Nathan there.
Nathan's hot dogs.
He put down 63, which is, 13 short of his world record of 76. And the guy is 38 years old. But you know what's lost in this, all you male chauvinist, misogynist pigs, is the fact that Mickey Sudo, you know who that is? No, you don't know who Mickey Sudo is.
I do not.
Larry,
Female.
do you know who Mickey Sudo
Female.
is? Yes, you know who she is? Do you know what she has accomplished? Earlier that day, she won her 8th title for the women's hot dog eating contest. But you don't know who Mickey Sudo is. I do.
How many did she eat?
I do. So I'm accused off of my decision on Roe versus Wade. Well, I hate women, this and that. We've lost some viewers. I'm checking numbers here. Since my position on Roe versus Wade, man, people hightailed it like scalded dogs. I'm not going to go watch that show again. He hates women. He doesn't want women's rights. I'm going to lose another 100 right there just by the imitation. But yeah, Mickey Sudo, big tip of the hat from Fresno, California. I don't know who else is doing it, but to win 8 straight titles as a woman, because they have a tougher role because they have to eat it and still look feminine while they do it. Chestnut doesn't have to. He just crams it in like a dude.
Boy.
Crap flying out all over the place. And if you throw up in that contest, you get penalized. Just like you get like what's the card? The yellow card.
The yellow card.
They actually do. They got judges. And if you barf there a little bit, it depends on how much comes out. If it's a whole hot dog, you get one color.
No way.
Oh, and if you really just
no way.
Yes, you just blow chunks all over the place.
Let's have another Twinkie.
Yeah, you brought these Twinkies in. But anyway, way to go, Joey Chestnut, and way to go, Mickey Sudo. And I expect you all never to ever let that accomplishment by women go unnoticed again on this show. We love women. We love their accomplishments. And
Alan, one of the things that they criticize women a lot of times as drivers, but you got to remember they were all taught by their dads. So
you just lost some.
No, I gained some because it wasn't their fault. Their dad.
Yeah, I was going to let you explain. Okay, I was let you explain that. Well, okay. Speaking of women, Boris Johnson. Okay, Boris Johnson.
Speaking of women, Boris Johnson.
Great transition.
Boris Johnson. Have you seen that hair? Come on, he's in mid-transition.
Oh, man.
He is in mid-transition. It explains everything that's going on. Those hormones and everything. He lost 30 members of his cabinet have resigned.
Because of the hair?
The hair and a plethora of other inexplicable decisions, statements. I mean, you're in the middle, I guess call this segment, What Has Happened to Boris Johnson? I mean, the same Boris Johnson that came in, Guillermo, on the wave of the Brexit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was, come back to conservative values, the old England.
And it's just been one misstep after another. He throwing parties there. No, where's the Parliament? Is that on Downing Street or Buckingham Palace is?
It's on Downing.
That is
it's
Downing.
near
That's
Downing.
It's just down the
Parliament,
street.
not
Near down,
Buckingham Palace.
down
Okay.
the street. Yeah.
Anyway, they're at Downing Street. I guess he was throwing parties when everything else was locked
Well,
down.
he was definitely throwing parties at Downing Street.
Yes.
Yeah,
He was doing
for
the
sure.
Gavin Newsom French Laundry thing
Worse.
on steroids.
Yeah, worse.
Yeah. He was partying there pretty much every night, the select list there, and got caught and did a mea culpa, come out there and said, I'm sorry. But then he followed that up with a bunch of other missteps. He couldn't wait to get over to Ukraine, do a photo op with Zelensky, get his photo op, hightailed it back to London.
Yeah.
Taking a shot, boom, back. And then he does this. Now, this is we're going to play this clip. Now, radio folks, I'm going to apologize. If you listen real closely and you got a really good radio, you're in one of those Teslas that's got the great radio, you may be able to pick this up. But this is Boris Johnson and the other G7 folks. Now, mind you, the middle of a catastrophic war that could turn into a nuclear war, a economic crisis all over the freaking world. And they all sit down this little round table. You see back of Biden's head. You see Macron over there. Macron, he's a pretty good looking dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
going to movies after that. Macron,
He was so good looking, he got his teacher.
He was this.
Dated his teacher.
He did his teacher?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a story for later. Tell me more about that later over coffee. And then you've got Olaf Scholz there. I know nothing, Schultz. And then you have Boris. But listen closely as they sit down. Now there's reporters behind them. The whole world is watching and listening to this as they sit down. If ever there was a time to be serious, this is probably it.
For sure. For sure.
This is probably the time. All of them there, and listen to what Boris has to say about Vladimir Putin.
Jacket's off.
Jacket's off. Jacket's off. Let's get casual. Shall we take our clothes off? But then we all have to show them we're tougher than Putin. We're going to get the bare-chested horseback riding.
Wow.
We have to show them our pecs, he says. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. Very hard to hear, radio folks. But this is,
Drink does that to you.
you do that, and then you follow up.
A lot of stuff can do that to you.
Okay, so they give him a little pass on that. You're sitting down, you expect the whole world expecting you to, get serious. Next thing you know, he's talking about Vladimir Putin's pecs, i.e. the transition theory. Okay, seems fascinated with the pecs. But then he follows it up with this little, you got the clip of the reasons he feels the reason he feels Putin invaded Ukraine. Listen to this to a reporter.
Yeah, great to see you. Thank you.
So ist die Welt.
You need more women in positions of power. If Putin was a woman, which he obviously isn't, but if he were, I really don't think he would have embarked on a crazy macho war of invasion and violence in the way that he has. If you want a perfect example of toxic masculinity, it's what he's doing in Ukraine.
Okay. Are you still do you still have question my transition theory? He's saying if women were in power, so he believes that women should be in power, period. So why not transition and become a woman in power in England? To be able to counter the toxic masculinity
that's
coming from Russia.
That is one reason. When you look at him sitting down, the radio audience can't see it, but you ever picked up a kid at daycare and after a long day, their clothes are wrinkled and the hair is disheveled? That's exactly what he looked like. He looked like a 4-year-old kid who has been ran through the entire day of daycare, and just he looked so disheveled and anyhow. But I couldn't. But no, I have no idea.
We're making fun of this, but this is really 30 of his cabinet members have resigned. 2 more yesterday.
Yeah.
30 said that we can't take it. This guy is he's nonsense. Him and Joe Biden in terms of their communication skills, what's going on there. I mean, Boris Johnson is the best case for the deleterious effects of long COVID. I mean, if this is what long COVID does.
The sad part is Biden and he understood each other.
Biden.
I'm proud of Biden though.
Yeah,
In that circle,
he didn't say anything.
He didn't say. He probably couldn't hear. Let's just be right. He probably could not hear.
I'm going to give him credit though. I'm going to say that he could hear and chose. That was even too much for Joltin' Joe.
I'll give him credit.
For sloppy Joe Biden.
Seeing that pack there at the round table, I got to hear one of probably many of the speech writers for Clinton. He spoke at a graduation ceremony, and he had said, when he applied for the job, he thought he was too dumb. Like, I can't get the job. Got the job, and on his first day was so nervous and said, "Oh my goodness, how am I going to be just competent with these people?" A month in, he's like, "Okay, I can handle this. These people are, they're really not, that above me." 2 months in, he said, "Oh my goodness, these people are running the country."
Yeah,
and when you look at
that was my experience as a mayor going to Sacramento and Washington. Yes, the big epiphany. It kept me awake. I went, "Oh my gosh." All of this stuff I thought was just really over the top, and then criticism that they don't know what they're doing, that they're infantile, that they've never had a job, so they don't know how to run a business, that they let petty little personal grievances guide their decision making. All of that stuff was true.
It is, yeah. That looked like a high school.
That's a horrible.
It is. It's really sad
to come to that conclusion.
And with the table they were all sitting at looked like a lunch table, a lunch
high school.
Yeah, lunch table. I bet you they have more intellectual conversations at our high schools in the lunch table than these guys.
So, and you ask, just be purely analytical about it. Take your politics away. Take your pulling for, as we all are, for the Ukraine, and to be able to somehow salvage, a good portion of the Ukraine at the end when the dust settles here, or the radioactivity fallout sets in after ultimate. Can you imagine these 7 leaders at that table talking about pectoralis majors and minors, taking your coat off, and we got to take all of our clothes? All of this little banter going around is going to beat a hardened Russian army fighting for their life, in their minds, fighting for their lives, with Vladimir Putin, generals named Igor Stravinsky. You think they're sitting around talking about Boris Johnson's buttocks? I mean, what you look at that, to me, it's, you try to make light of it because what the heck else are you going to do? That's scary.
It is.
That's scary stuff, what we just witnessed right there and listened to.
They're elitist individuals that have their meals served. They have transportation taken care of. I mean, they're the elite of the world. They don't get it. That tells me they don't get it. They're walking in. He's coming in joking. Hey, shirts on, shirts off. Hey, let's all take off.
Meanwhile, a bomb just hit a hospital in Kiev.
Exactly. These leaders are so out of touch, and not just the world leaders. And you look at the administration here. Yeah. There is a huge. We talk about the wealth gap, right? No, there's just a gap between world leaders and those in power and everybody else. Forget rich and poor. You have those elite, you have the elitists, and then you have everyone else, which is why, and I hate to bring it, but it's almost 2024, which is why Donald Trump was so loved by many, because he was the most elite person who could still, you feel like, you know what, he's talking to me. Did
you just see he had the highest rating of any politician? Just came out of a Harvard study.
Really?
Yes, he was number 1.
Didn't know that.
Most popular politician. Unbelievable. I mean, it's still there.
Yeah.
The question will be, can he win, when this gets 2024? But what about Gavin Newsom with
the ads
in Florida?
Oh my God.
Wow.
It's smart. I think he's very.
People are going to buy
it's
that.
It's smart. You know why?
He's getting up there going, "Hey, all you people!" It's just like saying, "Hey, forget that ride in SpaceX. I got 4 aisle seats on the Hindenburg.
No,
come on over here. Ride this.
It's genius.
I mean, what?" Or the captain of the Titanic going, "Get out of those lifeboats. Yeah. We're serving steak and frozen margaritas tonight."
That's a good point. That's a good point.
The margarita.
Just a little ice cube there.
Come on.
I can make some shave ice right now.
He's sitting up there with his hair. That wasn't me at the foundry. It's like Wizard of Oz. Don't pay any attention to that politician at the foundry. That wasn't me. Oh, God.
That's the best analysis I've heard.
All right, tell me. All right, I rudely interrupted you.
No,
Give me your theory why you think it was brilliant, these ads.
It's brilliant because he's showing himself out of everybody in the Democratic field right now. He's showing himself, I'll be the fighter. Because, Trump's a fighter. And that's why we liked him. He's starting to come out. Well, Joe Biden ain't going to fight anything. Kamala Harris can't find, she can't find the front door. Pete Buttigieg is still on paternity leave. Is it maternity leave or paternity? I don't know. P or M. He's on.
Better learn what that
He's on PIM leave. Whatever leave he's on.
Tell Mickey Sudo. You don't even know who that is anymore. You
he's the hot dog gal.
Okay, I just tested you. I saw you look down on my note.
I did look at your notes. But no, he's proving
Mickey,
to himself.
I got your back. If you're listening,
the only guy in America, probably. And he's proving himself to everyone like, hey, I'll go pick a fight. I'm that guy. Yeah. And he's picking his opponent.
But Larry, all right, I follow what Guillermo Triple G's saying. I respect him. Smartest guys I ever met politically. I love him.
Oh, man.
But
then you're
if
really
you're
going to
fight for something, don't you have to have something legitimate that's important to people to fight for? He's saying, come to California, you'll pay more taxes. Come to California, we'll regulate your business more. Come to California, we have open borders. We saw the prudence and brilliance in that a long time ago. We've had open borders before open borders was cool here in California. I mean, what does he have to sell? It's like he thinks that the people of California and Florida, actually it's called the vision of the anointed, as Thomas Sowell calls it. Mm-hmm. He thinks he can go up there and just tell people, look, shiny object. Don't pay attention to the high tax. It's a shiny object. And we'll go, yeah. I mean, they do get so drunk with isolation, so embedded in their bubble, and they stay in it constantly. The only time they come out is to go, like he did, to do a photo op in one of the grape vineyards. And he couldn't wait to get out there and get the smudge off of him, to get back in the limo to get back to Los Angeles.
Well, you got to remember that speech and that ad was not to Floridians; it was to other blue staters, and to position himself, as the fighter. So he was not talking to Republicans at all in that.
No.
Yeah.
But it's, and this is why it's such a smart move, because you need Florida to win the presidency. Yep. I think. Well,
Florida and
Trump,
Ohio.
Yeah, Florida and Ohio. So he's actually starting to look at the electoral map. I mean, this guy is way beyond I'm running in 2024. He's starting to make moves that would place him into position. Here's the other thing that I don't think a lot of people caught. He kept talking about freedom. In Florida, you're losing your freedom. Over here in California, you're going to have this freedom. It's kind of funny because the left, they like to tell you what kind of freedoms you're going to have.
Yep.
But if it's not the one that they've predestined that you should have, you're not going to have, which was...
Yeah.
We have freedom to eat cake whenever we tell you can.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Not like the free Twinkies that Larry brought.
How about COVID freedom?
That's not a freedom. No, you don't have freedom. Yeah, no, not at all.
We touched on this on the show yesterday on Taco Tuesday with Bullet Bob Leone. My analysis on this, and I feel very, very secure in this, in saying this, because I know how the machine works. You don't have to be an Einstein in the mayor's office. If you're a mayor of a large city and you get involved in all of this machinations of the state government, federal government, which you have to as a mayor. You try to get this grant for cops. You're over here trying to get this grant for building here, housing. Boom, you're all over the place. You're right in. You see how the sausage is made to a great extent. And if you're interested to see how the sausage is made even more, and that's your goal, you can maneuver and manipulate to see, there's ways of doing that. And I was really fascinated on how all this worked. And you get in there and you find that this coordination here and it is coordination. There's no announcement of this magnitude by Gavin Newsom unless he got the okay from the state powers that be, who then called the national powers that be, Nancy Pelosi, who he's related to.
Mm-hmm.
And then she checks with the DNC, and they check with CNN and the media. And they determine, okay, they either say, yes, that's a go, or they put the kibosh on it. This call, I believe this as sure as I'm sitting in this seat at KXEX Studios in Manchester Center. This was his salvo to start his presidential run. The DNC okayed this.
You think so?
Absolutely. They okayed this. This came down the food chain to get, because he is a soldier. He marches to what the teachers union said, the powers that be within the Democratic machine, he's going to follow. to
So-
the T. So they said, okay, I want to do this, and they know the ramifications. You're picking a fight with a governor in Florida, while your state's suffering. What's the logic in this? And they have to find somebody, because I stand by. I doubt Joe Biden's going to make it to the midterms. Something weird's going to
Still?
happen. Yeah, it'll be an illness. Something's going to happen. They'll say it's an illness, but there's nobody else out there outside of this governor from Kentucky, Larry, that they're talking about. I don't even know his name. I just hear him bantered about. Seems to be a common sense, middle of the road Democrat, not quite Joe Manchinist, but close. Well, he's going to die 1,000 deaths by the woke left. He's going to get shot after, shot flying over Wokistan. In his moderate Democratic plane, they're going to be bringing him down. So it makes all the sense in the world. From the time he took his seat as a county board of supervisor in the Bay Area, Gavin Newsom had his eyes set on the presidency.
Yeah, I follow your logic, and I think it's
do?
a very.
I lost myself on Twinkies.
That's a very.
As I'm listening to you, believe I'm listening to as I open up this Twinkie pack.
These are great, by the way.
Open it up, folks.
That's a really astute point, because if the DNC is pretty much giving him permission, does that mean Joe Biden, does he want out, number one? And for them to really give the blessing to Gavin Newsom, does that mean Kamala wants?
He wants out. All he wants is the incoming, and this is the leverage he has, big leverage. He wants his son, a guarantee his son will be pardoned if he's convicted.
Agreed. Yeah, his son's going to get taken care of.
He's ready to go, get with his brother, go make some money.
Yeah, agreed. But hold on, back to my point. So if the DNC, which
Twinkies good,
which I can kind of follow. I'm not sure that's
the 2015 model. These Twinkies have a 75-year life expectancy.
1976. 1976.
Vintage years, like fine wine. These Twinkies are like fine wine.
There you go. So,
all right.
So does Kamala Harris want out too then?
No.
Because here's the other thing.
They want an alternative to Kamala.
But
it's real simple.
So Kamala
she can't win.
So Kamala's way on the outside.
I take that back. I think she does want out. She wants to be at CNN.
I think she wants to be Supreme Court Justice.
Could be.
Is what I really think. No, and honestly, she should have just taken her. That's where she should have gone.
If she'd listened to Willie Brown, she would have been.
Yeah.
You can't party much as a Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah,
I get a feeling she likes to party a little bit. I have nothing to base that on.
In her younger days.
Well, when she used to date the guy, who was the?
I lost track, but I know who you're talking. Oh, Montel Williams.
Montel Williams.
Yeah,
he was at all the parties. She was having a really good time.
Yeah. Was Montel?
You know who really wants to party? That really is trying to find a way to get out, keep her fame, but really wants to get out and party.
Liz Cheney.
Oh no, AOC. She wants to get out and kick up her heels and party at the fancy digs. She's just got to figure out a political strategy in order to do that.
Speaking about 2024 and potential hopefuls, she is sounding a lot more poised and put together. I mean, when she first took office, she couldn't put two sentences together. And
who are we talking about again?
AOC.
Okay.
Have you heard her speak recently?
Yes.
She's getting coached.
She's good. Yeah.
She's getting coached and she's getting prepped. So that's I don't think 2024 is going to be her time. But Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris, they don't like each other. That's their teams don't like each other.
Wouldn't it be great though if she was president? She could be the first president to give AOC first president to give a State of the Union address while putting on her makeup. Now about the war over in Ukraine. Let me see. This eyelash really, if you use this, it really accentuates the length of your eyelashes. Kind of like those Stinger missiles that we're sending over. Those big long Stinger missiles.
Yeah,
and those are really big.
They're
really big.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got to get real serious. You guys have wanted another segment of hard choices.
Oh
boy.
And we've got the team here for hard choices. But hey, make coming back here not a hard choice. It's an easy choice to come back. KXEX 1550, the best talk in town. We'll be right back.
I haven't had
Man, that's sweet. That's good, though.
I haven't had a Twinkie in forever.
My first Twinkie in, gosh, probably a decade.
Yeah. And to think they almost did away with them. But they had so much, the supply was so big they just repackaged them. They are good.
So do they?
Orange cupcakes, too. Remember those old orange cupcakes?
I know.
And your inventory. You always got it. It's not like a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's not like meat on the counter is going to go bad.
These, you know, the 28 day that you age beef, these are 28 years aged.
Are they really that old?
No.
Oh,
No, but actually, they've done a study. What was it, like 75 years?
Science
that you could
teacher.
act?
Yeah, high school science teacher had it in his classroom for the entire time he was a science teacher.
no way.
Yep.
Did he eat it like on his last day?
No, it stayed right there in a little special spot in the classroom, and they'd check it out every year, and it looked exactly the same, hadn't changed.
Why didn't he try eating it?
See,
Because he was a science teacher.
you know
Boy,
what?
we heard a lot of people say that no science. They don't.
You know, that'd be a good contest to have. You know, a Twinkie eating contest.
How many of those could you?
Yeah, before you go into a sugar coma.
Well, there's nothing there.
Yeah, the last one to go into a sugar coma is the winner.
You know, I was speaking about eating contests. They did.
Larry's still standing.
Yeah.
Hey, Autry and Powell and Triple G. There goes Triple G.
I got a hollow right leg, so you know I can just keep pushing them down. You know, it's not wooden.
No, a couple of years ago in downtown Fresno, the Downtown Partnership, you know, that P-Bid, whatever the heck they call them,
Yeah.
they did a Cinco de Mayo. And they had a contest. Anyone could join on who could eat the most. What are the peppers called?
Jalapenos?
No, it was the ones.
Serranos?
Yeah. How many Serranos
Whoa.
peppers? Yeah. And so they had.
That would be a contest.
Oh, no. They had 4 people go up there. And it was for $200. The winner, $200. Only in Fresno. So they had the buckets of the peppers, right? The Serrano peppers. 4 people started. And then they had gallons of milk to cool them down. After about a minute in, one person was like, I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
The second person started vomiting everywhere. And then the last 2 were making a deal like, hey, let's just stop right now and let's just each get $100.
Yeah.
And about 20 minutes after, they had to call the ambulance and they were all barfing on Fulton Mall.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Did you create P-Bid? Did you create P-Bid?
P-Bid?
The Downtown Fresno Partnership?
Is it doing anything good?
Well, that's...
No, I didn't. Oops, that was Patterson. What? You imagine the post contest press conference for the Serrano eating contest.
30 seconds.
I did had it. Are you had a victory with my grass after your 5th Serrano? How about that night when you go to the bathroom?
Oh man, I felt bad for all. They I mean,
yeah,
eyes watering, red.
That's dangerous.
It is.
It is.
Yeah. Like why?
Now, were there Hispanics that went in there?
10 seconds.
One gal.
There's no excuse for her then.
Yeah,
she knew.
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Hokies like me in there. Yeah, I'll get that Serrano eating contest.
No, they were.
Hold my beer.
You're listening to the Alan Autry Show on the best talk in town. Talk Radio 1550 KXEX. Call Alan now. 559-899-1550.
1, 2. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, crank that up a little bit, Jeremy. Let the old timer go back in the days, 1960s out in Riverdale, with a case of brew that Willie Brown sold me. Thanks, Willie. I love you, brother. All right.
You know, Clint Eastwood says the key to aging is to keep the old man out.
Yes, I know.
You know? Keep the old man out. Don't let him in.
I know what you're thinking, Larry. Has he done 50 shows and only one? Well, to tell you the truth, I kind of
How
want
many
to scratch
shots
myself.
does this Magnum?
How many shows do I have left? Not many. Okay. All right, from Boris Johnson's hair to AOC. Yeah, you know, that's interesting to follow her. She is getting coached.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know where she's going with it.
Oh, we know what
Yes, Sir Lawrence.
Are
I'm
we
sorry.
going to this hard choices thing?
Oh,
But if you are, I got a good story for you. Alan Jackson, you know, the country star.
Great singer.
I mean, fantastic singer. Before he was a great singer.
Blank look
yeah,
at
these young
Not
millennials.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, no.
Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson.
So
Was he
here-
a part of the Jackson
But
Five?
No,
Alan Jackson
no.
can moonwalk.
His wife, they had not moved to Nashville yet. He has a beautiful farm outside Nashville, 175 acres. And they went to Nashville to perform. Glenn Campbell was there. And she went up to Glenn Campbell afterwards and said, I want you to help my husband, Alan Jackson, get into the singing business and really become famous and stuff. And to his credit, Glenn Campbell gave her his card with his manager's name on it and said, call him. And from that moment on, Alan Jackson became the Alan Jackson, selling more records than you can possibly imagine. And then the question became, they moved to Nashville. What if we hadn't moved to Nashville? What if we'd moved to New York? They asked Glenn Campbell. He said, well, then you'd be Michael Jackson instead of Alan Jackson.
Hard choices.
Hard choices.
You know, at Glenn Campbell, I got a chance to meet him at the Academy of Country Music Awards.
Amazing.
Wonderful guy.
Yep. Amazing.
And I met Mac Davis doing a movie called North Dallas 40.
Yeah.
It's right after Glenn had stole his wife.
Oh.
And Mac was not in a good place. We'll talk about that when we're gossiping. You have all
Mac-
this gossip about
Mac
who?
Davis.
Remember what you said, some story that I wanted to follow up on? You had some gossip early on the show.
I did.
Only I'm supposed to forget
Oh,
stuff.
Marcone and
Yes,
his
you
wife.
got some stuff on Marcone.
Yeah,
I got some stuff on Mac Davis.
Mac Davis. Do you remember when he had a television show?
Yeah.
You know, and he used to ask
They
the
said I used
audience.
to look like him
Yes.
when I had the perm.
Yeah. They said
You got a perm?
he
back,
would ask.
back in the 70s. And a big gold medallion they used to wear around the
You
disco.
did not.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I was ugly, man. Oh, yeah.
He
Me
would
and Donna
ask the
Summer,
audience
baby.
for 2 lines, and he'd put a song together right there on the spot.
Back in the 70s, that could have had double
And-
meaning.
No, that's exactly right. And they said, well, how about cross-eyed cowboy and cockeyed cowgirl? And he wrote a song, and he said, lately they ain't been seen eye to eye. So, that was Mac Davis. So,
Well, hey, Mac, when I was doing North Dallas for me, I was teaching him how to do a 3-step drop back because he played a quarterback there. He
yeah,
never did-
that's right.
Yeah, and they knew I played quarterback in the NFL, so they had me working with him. And he was in there in the middle of writing. He says, "Come on, Carlos, come in my bus with me." And sat there and talked, poured us a couple of drinks. And he says, "What do you think about this?" He said, "I'm working on a song." He was working on "Baby, Baby, Don't Get Hooked on Me."
Oh, I love it.
It was just really kind of fun there. But there's more to that story because the tone of that conversation changed, and it's still seared in my memory because it was such an abrupt and uncomfortable change. But anyway, I'll
Should
share
be
that
heard
with
later.
folks. It'll be heard later. It's in my book. Everything
Yeah,
in my
it's
book.
in
I'm
your
telling
book.
here on the show. All right, Jeremy. This people want another segment of hard choices. Give me a little lead in. For hard choices.
Let me tell you, the audio production on that is
Off the charts, Jeremy.
it's just, I mean,
Off the
unmatched.
charts. Okay.
Unmatched.
Here we go. Boy, this hour goes by fast when you're transmitting pertinent and wonderful information to people to enrich their
about
lives.
to get better in this
Yes.
hour.
Okay. First question, hard choices. Would you rather, we'll start with Larry first.
All right.
Would you rather swim in a snot river or eat a scab sandwich?
I'm going for the scab sandwich
You get one reason. You know how
I
this
know.
is played? What
I
is the
know.
one reason why? Why?
because it's only going in one orifice.
Okay.
Scab sandwich. Swimming in that other stuff.
Yes.
It's going in
I'm
every.
swimming. I'm swimming.
You're swimming?
I'm swimming.
You don't even want to know the length of the swim? You get tired and go under?
What? I won't get tired.
Okay, the Snot River rather than the Scab.
Yep.
You know, I would have to go with Snot River too
Yeah,
because the
'cause you-
scab is blood. Somebody else's blood.
But it's a scab. It's dry.
Right.
dry.
So it's like
Yeah.
it's
And you know, I think looking back in the subconscious, Carl Jung talked about that. That's a Jung with Jung, not Young. A psychiatrist, hung out with Sigmund Freud. Our subconscious, I think that's what gave birth to hard choices, is that my uncle would come up with this when I was like 7, 8 years old. That's where I came from. This. You know, hey, would you rather swim in a snot river or eat a scab sandwich?
and this was a thing.
This was, yeah, he'd come up with these choices. So I think that's where. Okay,
There
here
you
we go.
go.
Number one, we only have an. Okay, oh boy. Okay, here it is. Hard choices. Who is the better crier? All right, crier. A newborn baby, Adam Kissinger, or Jerry Dyer? We'll start with you, Guillermo.
The better crier.
Got to make a hard choice. That's 3 good
That is-
criers.
that is-
It's going to take a lot to beat the newborn baby. So that's probably going to be, that'd be my choice, newborn baby. But I don't know. It's tough.
No, I think Kissinger.
Did you see how he scrunched up his face, Kissinger?
Yeah.
Jerry's kind of a straight-faced. Well, listen, I'm making up a.
But
You,
he
you,
was
you gotta
like,
pick hard choice.
he was kind of ashamed to cry. He was like manly cry, like, oh man, I can't believe I'm crying, but everyone see I'm crying.
Yes,
I
and-
can't believe I'm crying, but
And you know, they have those things called ugly criers.
Yeah.
He wasn't really an ugly.
He's not an ugly
Although
crier.
we've only seen him on the public, in private, Diane's probably seen him do a
Yeah.
real ugly face crying. When he had that COVID, you know he was in there crying with scrunched up ugly face. I
I'm gonna go with the baby.
know. Okay, newborn baby, and why?
Well, I mean, babies are they're cute.
They're just better
Yeah,
crier.
yeah.
They're cute. Okay,
Yeah.
going the cuteness, Larry.
Well, they don't have to practice. It just comes
Who?
natural.
Kissinger?
The baby.
Oh, the baby. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, especially on an airline, because you always get the one right in front of you and they hang over the back of the seat there,
Yeah.
and then they cry the whole time, and you're trying to get out of there. And as soon as you do, then they kick you off the plane.
Okay, that's a
Is that
good,
from
that's,
personal experience?
that's
Watching all those videos.
that's a
Oh,
good
yeah,
why.
that's true.
Although I do take exception. I think Adam Kissinger did practice crime before that January 6th committee.
Oh, there's no doubt.
about the attack on democracy.
He did practice.
Okay. Good question. Hard choice number 2.
3.
3. Yes, that's right. Number 3. All right. You're on a ship. All right. You're on a cruise. For some inexplicable reason, Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un are on the same one. They fall overboard.
Oh, man.
You only have one lifeline that you can throw out there. Who do you throw it to? Vladimir Putin or Kim Jong-un? Larry, we start with you.
I'm going with Putin because
No way.
I'll tell you why. Because there's the next guy in line in China is just like, there's no change. There's no change. At
Very
least
good
you've got
line.
a chance in Russia that the next guy in line will be a little different. So
Okay.
that's the reason I'm going.
Good
I'll
answer.
go with
Triple G.
Kim Jong-un all the way.
Okay.
First of all, the guy can't save himself. I mean, as soon as he hits the water, he's going straight to the bottom. And he seems like a nice guy. Let me back that
Yeah,
up.
I was
That's
gonna
gonna that line's gonna come back and haunt me for the
Boy,
rest
is
of
it ever.
So he's a nice guy, as in you can talk to him, and he'll remember he met I guess Putin did
What,
too.
do you speak Korean? How can you talk to him?
Well, he seems like a nice guy.
Some gets lost through
the
translation. He'll send atomic missile right to KXEX studio.
He's younger.
Targeted.
He's younger. He might be more,
Bigger?
My generation. He's bigger. Yeah. He just seems like he's the
He
worst.
killed his uncle.
He's the worst of the two.
Okay,
No,
but
no,
so
not
you'd
the-
save him.
Not as
Not
bad
that
as the two. Yeah. I'm trying. Man,
You know
it's
what
a
I
hard
do?
choice.
I'd have to save Putin because I think Kim Jong Un may just send off a nuclear missile just.
He can't even.
For the fun
he
of it.
doesn't even.
I mean, anybody's going to kill their uncle
they're gonna go like 10 feet.
because they embarrassed him, huh?
He doesn't have anything
Okay.
that goes like is actually.
Okay,
Who's the basketball player?
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman. Yeah, that's why I couldn't go
Yeah,
with Kim Jong-un.
He likes
Yeah.
Kit Kat though.
Yeah,
He likes
anybody
Kit Kat
kinda-
bars.
You fascinated with Dennis
The
Rodman?
white ones or the black ones?
White
chocolate or black
I don't know.
chocolate?
That's a good question to ask. We're getting all
Okay.
sorts of trouble here in these hard choices.
I'm by that. When you have Dennis Rodman come over, you get fascinated with
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman. I was asked one time, I said, are you worried about somebody stalked you? I said, absolutely. And you go, you are? When I was in the heat of the night, I said, look, I can understand somebody being fascinated with Tom Selleck, Robert Redford, but if they're fascinated with me, they're really crazy.
They might actually do something.
Absolutely. Oh, gosh, yes. I'm there to
I
death.
love it.
Okay. You are in a country, we won't name the country, that you are forced to have an arranged marriage in order to get your freedom from this country. Okay. The arranged marriage, you got 3 choices. Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters,
Whoever the third is.
or Michael Moore.
Well, I have no doubt. I'm going Pelosi immediately.
Pelosi.
She's old. It's going to be a shorter duration.
Okay. Very analytical, smart, pragmatic, a realist.
It's a
I like your
shorter
thinking,
duration,
Larry.
baby.
I like your thinking. Triple G, hard choice. Do you need to hear the choices?
No, I'm good. I just.
Do earplugs come with waters?
Okay. I think I agree with Larry. Nancy Pelosi.
You would go Pelosi.
Yeah.
I'd pick Maxine Waters.
You know what?
Because I think a lot of it's an act. I think if you went out with Maxine, you'd probably have a good time. I think she'd just be cracking you up, telling jokes. You know what I tell people to get in your face out there?
You think?
Oh, I think she
Michael
would just
Moore would be filming it.
I think it's an age where I think it's an all act with her.
Yeah.
She's just made a lot of money in the
Wow.
act. It's a character. It's Maxine Waters. Just and that if you got her out alone, that she'd be a lot of fun.
Woo.
Okay, here we go. We're getting close to the end.
The next show will be called No Choices.
Okay, the 5th hard choice. What is more dangerous for a child to get close to? Or what is more
Joe
dangerous
Biden
for
or
a
Hunter
child?
Biden?
Not on the list, but good. It could be that. Make it a harder choice. It's just only 2 on this. A loaded gun or Nancy Pelosi's elbow.
Nancy Pelosi's elbow.
Why?
It's unpredictable. That thing will come
You
at
got to get the gun, grab it, and pull it. You got to do it your own self.
Yep.
That's Larry.
Yeah, I think I got to go the same. But once again, I don't think she has the strength to do anything. So, so
the kid could just brush it off.
Can you imagine? I'm gonna hit you.
Sound a little like John Wayne there. I'm gonna hit you with this elbow, you little nipper.
Tell you about that.
Take him to Missouri, man. All right, let me have a drum roll. We have the last one, number 6. Drum roll, please. Hard choice number 6. The baker's dozen. The statement most likely to get you canceled. A, my right to free speech. B, my right to bear arms. Or C, my pillow.
My pillow for sure. My pillow for sure.
Reason?
If they don't
Sound like the church lady there. Satan? Reason?
Because if they don't cancel you from just him, or I want to cancel myself by just saying that.
Larry?
Definitely my pillow. And I just ordered a mattress from My Pillow just because he got canceled. You know, so I got a new mattress from My Pillow. You know, so it's my mattress.
I hope Kim's listening because this is absolute true. Mike just wears you down.
He does.
And he finally got it. I've been looking at those slippers, and Kim's she was yelling at the screen with him on there. It's like the 20th commercial. He's watching Sean Hannity across. She went, "Okay, Mike, I'll order the slippers. What size do you have, Alan?" I said, "You know it is. Size 13 slippers. I'm ordering it right now." And then he goes, "They're like $49." And he goes, "You got to get them now. $90 off." Now, wait a minute, Mike. You were charging $150-something for those slippers? I mean, I can go down to Walmart and get one look just like that for like $28. So, I mean, I'm all for you, man. But I mean, that's inflation on steroids.
I just can't. What's so special about him?
Well, let me tell you, I like the pillows, and I'm gonna order the Giza sheets because it's made out of cotton that's only grown in one place in the world.
I'm
where
sure.
These rivers meet in Africa, and it's just soft as cotton.
Right where Moses passed by. I guarantee you, those
he blessed it.
And
from this day forward.
And if you call right now, you will get the stock that was closest to Moses.
Right, and you'll get a loaf of manna as well,
for sure.
With that,
well, my email says you can always stay up to date with the status of your order by clicking the Review Your Order button. Blessings, Mike Lindell, CEO, My Pillow Incorporated.
Well,
right there, folks.
I tell you,
it to me personally.
We make fun of Mike, but I like Mike.
Oh, he's a good guy.
I like Mike.
You met him?
No, but I like. He believes in what he believes. He's not going to back down. He willing to take the slings there. I mean, he's put it on the table, man. He's lost all of these accounts. He was over at Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah.
I always wondered, beyond what?
Beyond.
But he sent me a little text that said, "Get woke, go broke."
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
Yeah,
true story. He helped out a Central Valley guy, who and he's been kind of not around the Central Valley for a while. Ben Berkwam. Ben Berkwam had an accident. His wife had an accident, and she was in the hospital, and it was a bad situation. She's better now.
Mm-hmm.
He made a sizable contribution to get her better and to help out the family.
And didn't toot his horn about it at all. That's what good Christians do.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like you, Larry. I want to support him. He a lot of people walk. They talk the talk, but very few people are willing to walk the walk the talk.
We'll put the lively.
Did I say that right?
Yeah. You're talking.
You talk the talk, but you don't walk the talk. He's walking the talk, and he had to know, with these companies that he was dealing with. I don't know if he knew it would be this
Sales
severe.
went up as soon as they went after him, though.
Oh, yeah.
Every time. Remember when Chick-fil-A, when they went after Chick-fil-A, there were more people lined up for Chick-fil-A than they'd ever had.
Did you see that Chick-fil-A got voted the top fast food restaurant? yesterday?
By chickens.
No, not by chickens. They're going, man, here they come again. Talk about mass murderers.
I told you my dad.
Remember the good old days when they just wanted our eggs? They just wanted our newborns.
Yeah.
Now they want the whole enchilada, man.
Yeah.
No, but it won. Do you like Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, decent. It's not my favorite food.
Yeah,
but I like it. I like
I-
their service. I like the folks are, In-N-Out Burger and Chick-fil-A both do really good
In-N-Out,
service.
I think, was second.
Yeah, In-N-Out's great, though. I mean, I'm so happy when I leave there. And that sounds funny, but it's actually because they do
still
good
have
stuff.
Do they still have the scripture on the cups?
Yeah.
Yep.
Last time I got it. Yeah.
Folks may not know this, but at In-N-Out, the soda containers that they give you, you look on the bottom and it has a scripture.
Yeah.
You look on some of them, they have best talk in town, KXCX.
Yeah, you know what? I know a guy in the
Jesus
back.
says, listen.
Right, yeah, yes, he does.
I know you have a sense of humor.
It was
Lord,
all
I'm just
handwritten. It was all handwritten.
It was handwritten.
And if you go now,
yeah. But hey, before we go.
hold on,
Yes.
I thought we were going to bring. We each brought a hard choice. Or I
Oh,
don't know.
did you?
I brought a hard choice.
Bring it.
I didn't
Okay,
bring
this
a
is
choice.
perfect.
All right, ready. All
But
right.
I want to plug two movies. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. Dr. Strangelove and Failsafe. You can get them on YouTube. I'm sure on Tubi it's free. Autry's Armory, go see it because we are living out Dr. Strangelove. We're going to talk about that movie. All right, go ahead.
All right. Hard choice. This is the one I brought.
Okay.
Whose armpit would you rather smell? And I got this from your last Wednesday. So whose armpit would you rather smell? Gary Bredefeld, after he's done one of his heated press conferences where he has the entire, press show up and he's been worked up on Nelson Esparza, or Jerry Dyer after a morning workout routine at GB3's. Whose armpit would you rather smell?
Come on, Gary.
Well,
why?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that he's worked out enough to generate enough perspiration, and he probably uses a good antiperspirant, so it will block the smell. Plus, I would do it only if I had a cold.
Well said.
that wasn't part of the settings. You got to go in there nostrils free, baby. Okay.
Alan, both men.
I would have to go with Gary because I know I would be sniffing really legitimate conservative skank. and not El Camino skank. So I think I'd be able to tolerate it just a little bit more. Because I do think the skank factor would be worse with Gary than Jerry. Because he's in the gym, early in the morning, probably showered, whatever.
No, this is unshowered. No,
No, he's not showered?
This is right after he walk off the press conference. You
Right.
go like this.
Yeah.
Jerry's,
I'll stand by my first choice. I'm afraid I'd sniff Jerry's and I'd come out going, "Oh, please raise taxes."
Oh man,
What? Where's another flag I can raise down at
Oh,
City
my
Hall?
gosh.
Please bring me a flag.
We're not canceled. We're gonna be canceled by the other time we walk out of here.
I'm afraid.
YouTube just became no tube.
Jerry's gonna be on real
Oh,
soon.
Jerry's got to sit. He's laughing right now. That's my two little brothers there, man. That's my two little brothers. That is a very good.
That's
good
a hard choice.
That is a really hard choice because it's something that either way you go, you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't wish that on Miguel at all.
Yeah. Well, Miguel's not my enemy.
He's
I
not
was
my
just saying,
enemy.
Miguel. I think it would do well with Miguel. I think it'd be kind of like a smelling sauce with Gary. But I think Miguel in his position, if he demanded reciprocity for Gary,
Yeah.
but the problem is Miguel doesn't sweat.
This is
How do you even that out? He doesn't sweat.
This is a good question for him.
Yes.
That would be a really hard
I've
choice
seen
for
him
Miguel.
in very stressful situations, and Miguel seems to appear to me
Really?
to not sweat. I may be wrong.
That's true. I don't think I've ever seen the guy sweat.
Yeah.
Huh.
We should have that contest. I used to with the water dunk contest.
Yeah.
Put it on social media. Well, you got this from Larry. You brought that.
Yeah, you brought this armpit thing in.
Yeah, this is actually what's that from? They actually hired.
They hired somebody.
Man, you talk about hard up for a job.
to-
You tell these people that are armpit sniffers that were for some disease or something. You feel like saying, "Did you not get your stimulus check?"
Yeah, really. This was simply to test that stuff.
What are you in here doing?
Or maybe we should. Or
Their
maybe,
little fetish. I think maybe they like. There are people out there that kind of enjoy that. There is.
we've been everywhere today for sure.
Oh,
You
man.
know how much ground we cover?
There it is. There's the
Yep,
picture.
Yeah, see, that's
Man,
it.
she's got her nose way up in there. Holy cow!
And the lady at the back is like pretty happy someone's sniffing her armpit.
Oh my gosh! Look at the dude. The dude is like, oh, he's got a look on his face too. Imagine the guy snapped that picture. Okay, just hold it right there for a while. We almost got it.
27 retakes.
Oh boy, just in the nick of time.
Saved by the music.
Folks, thank you for tuning in on Big Wednesday, Wondrous Wednesday, whatever you want to call it today. We had some fun. We even had a Twinkie. Larry, thank you so much for being here. Triple G, thank you for being here. And most of all, our listeners and our viewers, thank you for tuning in. Just remember, do your best. Let God do the rest. I promise you do that. Things will work out. Bye-bye now and see you tomorrow on Thunderous Thursday.